Hi there. In this video we're going to be assembling this rolling cabinet, a roll container in classician design. Classician design. Jeez. Whatever. It's from Kaufland and it seems to be built by Meblomaster from Poland. Hopefully it's good quality. So let's get into the box. Opened up the package and I will be assembling on the cardboard box to not scratch these things onto an unfinished floor. Up until now I like what I see. It might be a bit of a premature idea, but yeah. Manual seems fairly thick, so should be quite detailed. These are the dimensions for this thing and the price 30 euros, something like that. Maybe, no, I don't know, 35 or 40 dollars, whatever. Here they are showing us how it's assembled, and as you can see, even the back of it, which I think is this, is quite thick. So that's good. Up until now everything seems to be okay. So they are showing us that we need to put these kind of standoffs onto the bottom plate, which presumably is this one. I need to get it out of here. Come on, little bottom plate. Okay, so we put standoff here, here and here. And after that on the other side, is that the other side? Or am I seeing something wrong? In theory it shows that I need to install the feet, but I don't seem to have any holes for the feet. Oh, no, my bad. This is the top part. Ah, okay. This is a bit of a weird construction. Let me show you what's actually happening. The bottom part goes inside, top part is on the outside. You see? Okay, now I get it. This is the top part into which we will be installing the standoffs, and the feet go into the bottom part, which is this one. So let's get doing exactly that. Spoke too soon. I hate this kind of finish. The paint or whatever, plastic, whatever this thing is on top of the plates is the type that cracks. I've seen that bends, that's perfect, but when it cracks I just hate it. So yeah, I spoke too soon. Hopefully in the end it will be a non-issue, but in terms of longevity, yeah, maybe not that awesome. Top plate is ready for this step. Bottom plate has the plastics hammered in, 2 wooden dowels on this side, 2 wooden dowels on that side, and the pin on the top of it. Now we set it aside. So these two are ready. Next step on this, which is the back plate, we need to put 2 wooden dowels on each side, not in the middle holes, because through the middle holes these things will actually, or this and some from the sides will go in. So let's get working on this one. Starting actually to work on the sides. Installed the first rail in place, as you can see in the third hole. This is the back of it, because we have these holes which will align with these dowels. So third hole, and then you slide this up until it shows you this, like we have it here. And we use this type of screws. Installed also 2 standoffs, 2 dowels in the bottom, and when I finish installing this side is ready, and we are doing the same on this one, but 100% mirrored. And then we will actually start assembling things. So we prepare each and every side first, have them stacked somewhere, and then we start assembling them together. Interesting way of doing it. IKEA doesn't really do it like this, but I like this way. Warning: this is not the correct way to install the rails. Future me is showing you what will happen. Yep. So the manual is wrong, and also these rails are quite crap, because you can see they are binding quite badly. The whole frame is too tight compared to the drawers. Okay, so to have everything working properly, install in the first hole at that end, not in the third one, and then you will see which one of them will line up in here. Probably that one, not the first one, as we have now. We have the first one, so it needs to be the third one. Instructions are incorrect. Jesus, the instructions are not wrong, they are just stupid. They are showing you the rail from the inside, not from the side that you are looking at it when you are installing it. So they are not showing you the rail from this side with the top slided like this. They are showing you like you would look from the underside of it. So yes, it should be the final hole, the one in there, which you cannot see in these pictures. You cannot realize you are working based on this. They shouldn't have done that. You are not seeing them like this when you are installing them. This is not incorrect, but dumb, and you have a big chance of ending up with what I did here. That kind of sucks. I want to point out the rails are the type with small ball bearings inside of them, and they are pre-oiled. I can feel them being oily, so they should slide quite nicely even when full with documents. And another thing, they used for packaging the type of polystyrene with black dots, and as far as I know, this is the fireproof one, or fire retardant one, something like that. Anyway, better than the other type that just burns without any issues. So put that in, and we have both sides ready, and start assembling. This step, they are together, and here where that standoff of this type was, it enters through a hole into this one, where we use this type of element, and I like it that it's metal. I've seen many furnitures that have it from some kind of tough plastic, but better metal. You insert it with the arrow pointing down, and rotate it until the arrow actually points upwards, and that means it's actually pulling and it's fully tightened. I'm going to attempt to do this with one hand, but yeah, not really doable. And you basically need to smack this thing, make sure it's as low as it can get, and tighten this as much as it can go. In theory, arrow pointing upwards, but even like this, if it doesn't go more, nothing that you can do if they are already touching, so yeah. Next step, put the sides on. I put one side down, the right side, and then pressed everything in place. Tighten that thing right there. That one was already tightened from this to when they were connected. Now I'm coming with this on top of it. Tighten another one of those connections, and then we will go to the next step of putting the top on it. Started to install the wheels. On the back of it we install the ones without a brake, and on the front of it the ones with a brake, because it's easy to access. You simply push them like this, and it's locked. And I realized I forgot to install these connection elements when I put the sides on, so luckily we can do them now. This is done, and I must tell you, it's built like a brick. Really sturdy. I like it. And now we start assembling this, which will be 5 of them, 100% identical. Yeah, fun and games. Let's make the drawers. I think I prepared most of the materials, hopefully all of them. So we need two of these connection stands in the top holes from the front. Obviously two of these connections which will attach to this. Then two wooden dowels that will go into these holes. Bottom plate, so this is right, left, and end plate which is in incorrect position, and the end plate on each side will connect with two of these thingies. So let's start putting the puzzle back together as they show us here. Hopefully all goes well. So in theory, first thing, hammer in this like that together on both sides. Pro tip, these things go in really hard, so hammer down directly onto the floor until they are flat, and only then attempt to hold them here and hammer through these holes, because otherwise it will be a pain to keep everything aligned. At this point, simply slide this thing in with the white part on the inside. You want to be able to see the nice part of it. How big is this? Is this an A4? Yeah, so okay, they did some measurements and A4 fits. That would have been really awkward if A4 wouldn't fit in here, not Audi A4 sheets. So now the front goes in, and on top of everything, make sure everything aligns. And tighten that and that. And we should be done. So now 4 more to do. Heads up, there are two types of these fasteners. These lighter ones go really well in the drawers. These are probably intended for the rest of the frame. They are a bit more sturdy and they don't go that easily in the drawers. I used from the drawers into the frame at least one of them, so now I need to replace it with the proper one in there. So heads up, this is a bit of a trap. Another warning, this can crack if you use a small hammer like this and strike it just a little bit off. So use a hammer with a bigger square in the front, with bigger surface, and don't hit it as hard if the hammer is bigger. But yeah, it cracks, but still usable. But wanted to let you know so you don't encounter this issue. For all drawers we must use these pieces of plastic. Simply slide them under, actually between the front channel and the bottom plate. This is the front, right there in the middle, and then with a Phillips screwdriver tighten them in place. At this point we have the finished drawers. We will slide them in. This channel goes onto the rail and the other side onto this rail, and we have these screws and holes on each side, and they will latch onto one of these holes, but I'm not sure which. We will see that in a moment. Presumably the second one, so the one that is a bit deeper. Okay, so I've reached this point. I've put a warning prior in this video. I will move. I did exactly what they showed us in the third hole, in the back side of this thing. On this side, we are actually, let's look on the other side. So third hole, they show you the third hole. They use the third hole in there. These are the holes that we see in here, so that's correct. But this goes in much too deep. Doesn't even matter that it moves really badly. Let's even ignore that for the moment. So I'm going to move that in the last hole, so this comes further to the front. Yeah, I was right. The manual is wrong. And this thing, yeah, still not moving nicely, but a bit better at least. Anyway, this is not the first time I see products, furniture products with problems at Kaufland, so I think I'm going to avoid buying from Kaufland stuff like this. I will continue to go for IKEA and Lidl. I haven't seen stuff like this with them yet. Hopefully not in the future also. Anyway, that's that. This is bought, it's usable, it's a bit annoying, and the instructions are wrong for this part, sadly. So I need to move all of this, like I already told you. This is annoying. The rails are so tight that you need to pull them out to be able to somehow put them in here. You can see that they are just not reaching. It's too tight. So you need to spread them apart and then start pushing this thing in, and then you need to pull on the side of the rail to make it reach the hole. Quite annoying, honestly. And this is how I pull the rails in place. And only now the whole side are lined up. You know what? It's actually working better now. And I will explain you why. I think all of these drawers are managing to push the side just enough. You can see it's a bit curved. And also on the other side, it's a tiny bit curved. Maybe 0.5 millimeter on each side. So now they have enough room to actually work normally. These three work perfectly. The middle three. Top and bottom still work a bit. They are a bit stiff, but doable. And this is how much they come out. So you still have about a width of a hand in there. Don't expect them to fully come out with this type of rails. And this is how this thing looks in an unfinished room, obviously. If I pump the brakes, I think, yep, it stays in place. You can open these things up. It's good. It's all good. They even provide us with these paper stickers to cover the holes on the inside, but I'm not going to use them there. I'm going to use them on my IKEA kitchen to cover some holes. So thank you, Polish company, for giving me something to finish my IKEA kitchen. I don't need to buy them anymore. And I'm out of breath. Having stairs in the house, I wasn't used to it. Anyway, so that's about this for this video. Would I buy this thing again now that I encountered this issue that in the end it seems to be a non-issue? Yes, I would buy it, even if I needed to move the rails a second time. Just a small error in the manual. So that's about it. It's worth it. Honestly, I think it's worth it. So if you have any questions how this thing works over time, if it has any issues or not, although it's built like a brick, like a tank, whatever you want to say, I don't think any issues can occur. I don't see where. But yeah, ask in the comments and I will do my best to give you an update. And that's about it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.